Welcome back to Yoga with Maria. I'm Maria, and today we're doing some wake up yoga. This sequence or series of movements is going to help you wake up, feel energized, feel strong, ready to start your day. It's going to make you have the confidence to take up space. And so when that inevitable thing happens later in the day that will trigger us, right? These movements will help us have more capacity to stay present in those moments and come out on the other side. And that's why we do this practice. That's why we're here. So let's get started. All you need for this sequence is a yoga mat or not. You can just find a space at home where you have enough room to move your body. And then ideally you get a block, a couple of blocks, or any block-like object, maybe a thick book sometimes works really nicely as well. So find your block or your book and just find a comfortable seat, whatever feels good this morning in the body. And just let the hands rest on the tops of the legs. Today or this morning we'll flip the palms up just as a way to receive a little bit more energy into our bodies. So sit up tall and just let the eyes close. And right away, just allow yourself to arrive to your mat or whichever space you've created for yourself in your home or at the gym. And just right away, start to let the outside world fade and let go of any, effort or stress or busyness that it took to get to this space this morning. Knowing that these next few minutes are for you to be with yourself and to be with your breath. And then once you're settled, just gently, without changing it at all, bring your attention to your breath, making a mental note about its quality this morning. Maybe it's long, short, steady, or uneven. And also make a mental note about how you feel this morning without trying to shift it or change it or wonder why you're feeling one way or the other. Just making a mental note as easily as you would write an item down on your grocery list. Just noticing in the easiest, most gentle way. And then wherever you are in the breath, exhale everything out. Together we'll breathe in. For this first one, open the mouth side out. This time we'll seal the lips, breathe in. Keep the lips sealed and exhale through the nose, beginning to activate your Ujjayi breath, often referred to as oceanic breath or victorious breath. Again, breathe in. Breathe out, letting the breath drag against the back of the throat. Same quality as that open mouth exhale. One more like this. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then slowly let the eyes flutter open, letting the light back into your space. And just lift the hips up. Remove your block and find your way onto your mat in a hands and knees position. So we're setting up the shoulders just over the wrist, the hips over the knees. And then notice if you tend to lock out the elbows. If that's you, just put a little micro bend in the elbows to make sure you're activating the muscles of the arms. And we'll just start out with some cat-cows here. So on the breath in, let the belly drop down, the chest goes forward, the gaze goes up. On your exhale, press into the hands, use the belly to round the spine, and then take the gaze inward and toward the navel. Breathe in, belly drops, chest lifts, look up. Exhale, press into the hands, round the spine, take the gaze inward into the navel. Keep going on your own, breathing in and out. I find that in the morning it feels really nice to take some free movement. So if you want to roll the head or make kind of a circular movement with the spine on your way through cat and cow, take some liberty here to just feel good in the body. Understand where you might have sticky points or kinks from hopefully a good night's rest. Good, and then find a little stillness. And we'll start by tucking our right toe back behind us. The left arm will reach up, and then you'll lift the right heel as well. Breathe in, look forward. Breathe out, take that elbow to the knee. Moving through this 2 more times. Breathe in, extend the arm and the leg. Exhale, elbow to knee. Breathe in, extend. Breathe out, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend, arm and leg. On your exhale, you're going to bend the right knee. Left arm reaches back behind you. Maybe you catch the foot. Once you do, turn the chest forward again. Kick the foot into the hand. Breathe in. Breathe out. Gently release the foot. Arms and leg reach forward and back, and then release everything down to the mat, your back and hands and knees. From here, the left toe is going to tuck back behind us, and then we'll spin the left heel down. The right shin can spin back behind you too, like a kickstand. Left hand reaches up for a supported side plank, and then reach that left hand all the way forward. The pinky finger will spin down so the palm of the hand faces the floor, and then the gaze can come up and underneath the armpit. You'll feel a big stretch in the left side of the body. Take a breath in and out. Left hand reaches all the way forward and back down. We're finding our hands and knees once again. From here, tuck the left toe back behind you. Right arm reaches up, and then the left heel meets it. Breathe in to look forward. Breathe out, take the elbow to the knee. Crunch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Breathe in, extend. Exhale, take the elbow to the knee. Last time here, extend the arm and the leg, and then bend the right knee, or the left knee rather. Right arm reaches back behind you. Maybe you catch the foot and then kick the foot into the hand. Take the chest back forward. Take a big breath in and out. Gently release the foot. Extend the arm and the foot in opposite directions here, and then release down to the mat. This time we'll tuck the right toes back behind you. Spin the right heel down. Press into the left hand. Right arm reaches up. Yeah, you can kick that left shin back behind you as a kickstand, and then reach the right arm all the way forward. Pinky finger spins down. Knit the ribs together and feel the stretch in the right side of the body. Take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. And then reach that right arm all the way forward and down, coming back to hands and knees, and then tuck the toes. Take the seat up and back behind you for downward facing dog. You can go ahead and pedal out the feet to open up the backs of the legs. The backs of the legs might definitely be a little bit more tight this morning. Mine generally are in the morning time. And then let's sync up movement. Let's breathe in and roll forward to plank pose. Look forward. Stack the shoulders over the wrist. You might take the toes back a little bit to lengthen out. Keep the feet where they are, and then take the hips back and up. Downward facing dog on your exhale. One more time. Breathe in, roll forward to plank. Stacking shoulders over wrist. Look forward. Pull the belly in. Exhale, hips go up and back for downward facing dog. This time, breathe in, roll forward to plank pose. Look forward. Exhale, lower the knees. Arch the back, lower the chest and the chin. Breathe in, slide through for cobra pose. Head and chest lift, elbows pull back, tops of the feet press. Exhale, take the forehead down to the mat. We're going to take the hands off of our mat to the sides. The elbows point up. Make sure the legs are squeezed together, the tops of the feet press. On your inhale, peel the head and the chest up any amount. On your exhale, reach the chest forward and all the way back down. We're taking this movement 2 more times. Breathe in, head and chest lift. Breathe out, reach forward and lower all the way back down. 1 more time with the breath. Breathe in. Make sure you're engaging the legs. Breathe out. From here, tuck the toes. Hands come by the low ribs. Lift the kneecaps up, and then on your breath in, press in 1 line to plank. Breathe out. Hips go up and back for downward facing dog. Breathe in, roll forward to plank pose. Breathe out, lower the knees. Arch the back, lower the chest and the chin. Inhale, slide through for a cobra. The tops of the feet press, elbows pull back. Put a little tuck in the chin to keep the back of the neck long. Exhale, stay here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Tuck the toes, take the seat to the heels, and come back to downward facing dog. Breathe in, lift the heels. Breathe out, bend the knees, look forward. Inhale, just walk the feet 1 foot at a time, little baby steps all the way to the front of your mat. Set up your feet hip width distance, and then interlace the hands behind you. Put a big bend in the knees. On your breath in, take the chest forward, let the hands pull back, almost like a diver pose variation here. On the exhale, fold over the legs, let the head fall heavy, hands come up and over. We're taking this 2 more times. Breathe in, bend the knees, chest lifts, look forward, hands pull back. Exhale, fold over the legs, let the head fall all the way heavy. 1 more time, breathe in, bend knees, look up. Breathe out, fold over the legs. From here, take the hands to the low back and then release the fingertips. Arms come by the sides, put an even bigger bend in the knees. Slowly begin to roll up. There's no rush at all, so just keep stacking each vertebrae on top of the next. The head will be the last to land on top. When you get to the top, you can take a couple shoulder rolls. I like to roll mine back a couple times and then maybe forward. From here, heel toe the feet together. Take the hands by the sides, find a mountain pose or Tadasana so the palms face forward, the chest is broad. Feel the feet grounding down into the mat, pull the low belly slightly in and close the eyes. Bring to mind a quality that you want to maintain throughout your day today. We're gonna use the vision of this quality as our dedication for practice. So if your body starts to get tired, if you lose track of the breath, try to bring your attention back to this quality as your pathway back to your breath, back to the present moment, back to your body on your mat, helping you stay focused, giving you a reason to keep going. And flutter the eyes open, breathe in, arms up, reach up. See the hands touch overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Breathe in, half lift, look forward, find a lengthen the spine. On your exhale, plant the hands. This time just step back and lower halfway for chaturanga. You can always take knees, chest, chin. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Staying here for 5 breaths. Let's clean up our down dog shape. So spread the fingers wide. The shoulder blades are broad on the back. And then the armpits pull up and inward toward the heart. Low belly pulls in. Think about the belly button going back towards the spine and then up towards the diaphragm or the lungs. It's called Uddiyana Bandha in yoga speak. Then the gaze can come to the big toes. That's 3. Keep breathing. 4. 5. Breathe in to lift the heels. Breathe out, bend the knees, gaze forward. Step or jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Breathe in, arms up, gaze up. See the hands touch overhead. Exhale, bring the hands through the heart, center, and then stand tall, find Tadasana. Breathe in, sit hips low, arms up, chair pose. Exhale, fold over the legs. Breathe in, half lift. Breathe out, plant the hands. This time you can step or jump, landing with bent arms. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So nice. Breathe in, right leg lifts. Breathe out, take the right knee to the left tricep across the body. Inhale, down dog split. Exhale, place the foot between the hands, find a low lunge. Maybe the hands come to blocks. On your inhale, look forward. On your exhale, extend the right leg. Both legs are straight. Let the head fall heavy. Taking this 2 more times. Breathe in, low lunge, look forward. Right knee bends. Breathe out, extend. Let the head fall heavy. Inhale, low lunge, look forward. Exhale, extend both legs. Right hip pulls back to keep the hips square. Breathe in, bend the right knee, find your low lunge. Exhale, just stay here, be broad across the chest. On your inhale, we're coming up to high lunge. On your exhale, open arms and hips for warrior 2. Yeah, that left heel spins down. Breathe in, straighten the right leg, right arm goes up, reverse triangle. Breathe out, reach forward and down for triangle pose. Right hand comes to right ankle or shin, or maybe a block outside the foot. Left arm reaches straight up to the sky. For 1. Lining up the torso with the front leg. It's a little bit of a leaning back sensation for 2. Keep pulling the inner thighs in towards one another. For 3. Breathe in, engage the legs, rise to stand. Breathe out, find a low lunge twist, bend the right knee, left hand comes to the mat, right arm reaches up. From here, the right toes are going to turn towards the right, and you're going to come to the outer edge of the left foot. Take your time here. You can stay in a supported side plank here, or you can transition to a full side plank. Keep lifting the hips up. Gaze goes up for 1, 2, 3. Breathe in, plank pose. Breathe out, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, place the foot between the hands. The left knee comes to the mat this time. Inhale, hook thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, keep pressing the hips forward, keep lifting the chest. Low belly pulls in for 1. Gaze goes up. 2, 3. Inhale, hands come to the mat. Find your plank pose once again. Exhale, lower halfway for chaturanga. Breathe in, upward facing dog. Chest lift, thighs off the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left knee to right tricep tap. Breathe in, down dog split. Breathe out, place the foot between the hands, find your low lunge. Maybe the hands come to the blocks. Breathe in to look forward. Breathe out, extend the left leg and fold. Left hip pulls back. Inhale, low lunge. Feel the hip, stretch in the hips here. Exhale, extend left leg and fold. Breathe in, low lunge. Look forward. Lift the chest. Breathe out, extend both legs and fold. Head falls heavy. Breathe in, bend the front knee once again. Breathe out, just stay broad across the chest. On your inhale, rise, high lunge, torso lifts, arms lift. Exhale, open arms and hips, warrior 2, right heel spins down. Inhale, reverse triangle, left leg straightens, left arm reaches up, look up. Exhale, reach forward and down for triangle pose. The hips cut back, left hand comes to the left shin or ankle, right arm reaches up to the ceiling. If you took a block on the first side, go ahead and take a block under the hand on this side as well. Keep knitting the ribs together for 1. Broad across the chest. Keep turning the chest up towards the ceiling or the sky for 2. Pressing down into both feet equally, really pressing the outer edge of that back foot for 3. Inhale, engage both legs, rise all the way up to stand. Exhale, low lunge twist, bend the left knee, right hand comes to the mat, left arm reaches up. From here, the left toes turn to the side, you're coming to the outer edge of the right foot. You can stay here in a supported side plank, keep lifting the hips up, or gently transition into a full side plank. Left foot stacks on top of the right, keep lifting the hips for 1. Stay with the breath for 2. 3. Breathe in, find a plank pose. Breathe out, hips go up and back for downward facing dog. Breathe in, left leg lifts. Breathe out, place the foot between the hands, the right knee comes to the mat. Inhale, hook thumbs, opposite thumb on top, reach up, chest lifts. Exhale, keep pressing forward into the hips for 1. Anjane Asana here for 2. Keep pulling the low belly in for 3. Inhale, hands to the mat, find a plank pose. Exhale, lower halfway for chaturanga. Breathe in, upward facing dog. Breathe out, downward facing dog. Staying here for 3 breaths. Coming back to your breath for 1. Coming back to your dedication, the quality that you want to cultivate for today for 2. 3. Inhale to lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Step or jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Breathe in, sit hips low, arms up, chair pose. Exhale, hands come to heart center, revolve to the right. Left elbow comes outside the right knee, twist over to the right. The hands are pressing into one another. We're working to get the hands right in the center of the chest. Take the gaze up, that's 2. Keep sitting low here for 3. Breathe and come back to center, arms lift up. Breathe out, hands come to heart center, revolve to the left now for 1. You might even take a look down at the knees to make sure that they're even, which will tell you that the hips are square for 2. Big breaths here for 3. Inhale, chair pose, arms lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. From here, we'll separate the feet about hips width distance. So you can measure this out with 2 fists between the big toes. And then you'll grab the toes with the first 3 fingers. So the pointer and middle finger will slide underneath the big toe between the big toe and the second toe. The thumb will just wrap on top. Bend the knees a lot, feel the belly on the thighs. On your inhale, look forward, find length in the spine, broad across the shoulders. On your exhale, let the head fall heavy, elbows pull in opposite directions. You might lift the hips here, but keep the thighs engaged with your ribs. Head falls all the way heavy, shoulders come away from the ears. Padagustasana for 1, 2, 3. Keep engaging the fronts of the legs, the quadriceps, so that we can release the backs of the legs, the hamstrings. 4, 5. Breathe in, half lift. Release the toes. Breathe out. Take the hands to the waist. Find a flat back. Inhale, lead with the chest, stand all the way up. Exhale, heel toe the feet together. Find Tadasana, palms face forward. Inhale, arms up, look up. See the hands touch overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Breathe in, half lift. Breathe out, plant the hands and just step back to plank pose. From here, you're gonna lower to the right forearm, and then you're gonna lower to the left forearm. You're in a forearm plank. Double check to make sure that the elbows are stacked right underneath the shoulders. And then press into the hands, the fingers are spread wide, and pull the elbows back towards the toes. It'll help you engage the belly for 1, 2, 3. From here, you're gonna pike the hips up a bit and walk the toes in towards your elbows, finding a dolphin pose. From here, the head can fall heavy. Keep walking the toes in towards the elbows and just stay here. Or you might lift one leg. Take the gaze between the forearms towards the thumbs and take small hops for forearm stand. Yeah, and then maybe take the other leg up. Otherwise, you're just hanging out in dolphin. Nice. And then let's all walk our feet back to forearm plank. Stretching out the body and then lower the belly down. Untuck the toes, lift the chest up. You're in a Sphinx pose. Nice. Double check that the elbows are still underneath the shoulders. Breathe in to lift the chest. Keep pressing the tops of the feet down. On your exhale, look over the right shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, gaze over the left shoulder. Breathe in, come back to center. Breathe out, lower the forehead down to the mat. Good. And then we're gonna bring the forearms back. The left forearm's gonna come at a diagonal across the front of the mat. The right knee is going to bend. And then the right hand's gonna reach back and see if you can catch the right foot. The right heel will come in towards the right outer hip. And then you might spin the fingers forward and take the elbow up. Once you're here, keep turning the chest back towards the front of your mat, squaring the shoulders to the front. Staying with the breath, you should feel a big stretch in the front of the right thigh, or the right leg rather. One more big breath in and out. Keep pressing into that left forearm so you're not sinking into the left shoulder, and then gently release the foot. Right forearm replaces the left in front of you. Bend the left knee, reach the left hand back, pull the heel in towards the butt. You might stay here, you might turn the fingers forward, elbow points up, and then wherever you are, take the chest back forward. So square the shoulders to the front of your space or your mat. Keep breathing here, sending breath into the left quadricep. One more big breath in and out. Gently release the left foot and lower the forehead down to the mat. We'll come back to the forearms. We'll tuck the toes, lift the knees up. Breathe in to lift the hips for forearm plank. And then from here, we'll press the right hand into the mat and then the left hand in the mat. You're in a plank pose. Take the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Breathe in, right leg lifts. Breathe out, take the right knee to the left tricep. Inhale, down dog split. Exhale, place the foot between the hands, low lunge. Breathe in, rise, high lunge. Breathe out, open arms and hips for warrior two. Inhale, straighten right leg, both arms reach up, look up. Exhale, warrior two. Taking this movement 2 more times. Inhale, straighten right leg, both arms reach up. Exhale, warrior two. 1 more time, moving with the breath. Inhale, extend and reach up. Exhale, warrior two. Breathe in, reverse triangle, right leg straightens, right arm reaches up. Breathe out, reach forward and down for triangle pose. We've been here before. You can stay here for another round of triangle pose, or you can take the gaze down. Put a little bend in the right knee and then reach the right hand about 12 inches in front of the right pinky toe. Left leg lifts up, left arm reaches up. For half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. You can stay here, you might bend the left knee and reach for the left foot with the left hand, taking another variation called Chapasana for 1. Letting that left shoulder open, 2, 3. Let's all meet up in half moon with the left leg extended, left arm reaching up. Breathe in, put a little bend in the right knee. Breathe out, float back to warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle, right leg straightens, right arm reaches up. Breathe out, find your low lunge twist, right knee bends, left hand presses down, right arm reaches up to the ceiling. Turn the right toes out, turn to the outer edge of your left foot. From here you can stay or you can float to side plank, keeping the right foot lifted for 1. You might bend the right knee and step the foot back behind you for a rock star pose, lifting the hips for 2, 3. Breathe in, down dog split, hands to the mat, right leg sweeps up and back behind you. Breathe out, take the right knee to the right tricep and then step the foot outside the hand. Setting up for lizard pose here, you might drop the left knee down to the mat. And then you might bring the forearms to the mat. Maybe the forearms come to blocks. You may even tuck the left toe and lift the left knee back up here. Keep pulling the right knee in towards the right shoulder. Taking 1 more big breath in and out. Wherever you are, take the left knee down to the mat. Press the hands into the floor or your mat and then take a twist to the right, taking the right hand just to the right knee to start. From here, you'll bend the left leg. Heel comes in towards the butt. The right hand reaches back. See if you can catch the left foot with the hand. And then twist open towards the right. Maybe lean back into this a bit here for 1. Keep pulling the heel in towards the butt for 2, 3. Gently release the foot. Hands come back to the mat. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee. And then you'll step the left foot forward outside the left hand. Sit the hips low. Hands come to touch in front of the heart. Elbows press the knees away for Malasana or squat pose. You might close the eyes, keep lifting the chest up. You have an option to put a block underneath the seat here. This is really easy for you. Just lift out of it a little bit to create a little bit more resistance. From here, we'll take the hands to the mat, hips lift up, and we'll step the feet in just a bit here. Toes are still turning out. If you have crow in your practice, you can certainly come into it right away. Otherwise, come to the toes, heels lift, and then bring the knees as high as you can on the backs of the arms, very close to the armpits, and then bend at the elbows, look forward. And then you might practice putting weight into the hands, lifting one heel towards the butt, maybe the other. If you're up, keep looking forward, keep pulling the heels in towards the chest. And then if you're up, you can shoot back for chaturanga. Otherwise, just step back and meet up in downward facing dog. So nice. Breathe in, left leg lifts. Breathe out, take the knee to the right tricep. Inhale, down dog split. Exhale, place the foot between the hands, find a low lunge. Breathe in, high lunge. Breathe out, open arms and hips for warrior two. Inhale, straighten left leg, both arms reach up, look up. Exhale, warrior two, gaze comes forward, bend in the left knee. 2 more times, breathe in, reach up. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reverse triangle, left leg straightens, left arm reaches up. Breathe out, reach forward and down for triangle pose. Right arm reaches up to the ceiling, knit the ribs together. You can stay here, take the gaze down and move into half moon pose. Bend in the left knee, left hand reaches about 12 inches in front of the left pinky toe. Right leg lifts up. And And then you have an option to stay in half moon or take Shavasana variation, reaching for the back foot. And then kick the foot away from the butt, opening the space between the heel and the hip. Right shoulder opens. That's 2, 3. Gently release the foot. Let's all meet in half moon. Right arm lifts up, right leg extends. Inhale to put a little bend in the left knee. Exhale, float back to your warrior 2. Breathe in, reverse triangle. Left leg straightens, left arm reaches up. Exhale, low lunge twist. Left knee bends, right hand presses down. Left arm reaches up to the ceiling. Same thing here. You can turn the left toes to the left. Come to the outer edge of the right foot. And then you can stay here. You might transition to side plank with the leg lifted, left leg lifted this time. Or you might bend the left knee and step the foot behind you for rock star pose. That's 2. Stay with the breath for 3. Inhale, hands to the mat, down dog split. Left leg sweeps up and back behind you. Breathe out, take the left knee to the left tricep. Step the foot outside the left hand, right knee comes to the mat. Setting up for lizard pose here, maybe the forearms come down. Find your variation, and then wherever you are, keep pulling the left knee in towards the left shoulder. For 1, 2, 3. Wherever you are, take the right knee down to the mat, hands press. And then twist your torso over towards the left. Left hand can come to the left knee to start. Bend the right knee, right heel comes in towards the butt. Left hand reaches back to see if you can catch the outer edge of the foot. And then let the body, upper body twist, open towards the left. For 1, keep pulling the heel towards you. For 2, hips press forward. For 3. Slowly release the foot, hands come back to the mat. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee. From here, right foot steps forward, outside the right hand for Malasana Yogi Squat. Same thing here. Let's just take a breath in and out. You can stay here, you can come into crow practice one more time. Lifting the knees up as high as you can and then bending in the elbows, heels lift up. From crow, if you have it in your practice to come to tripod headstand, you can lower the head and take the feet up towards the ceiling. Make sure the elbows are pulling in towards one another, the shoulders come away from the ears. And then if you're in tripod, pike the legs so that the heels are in line with the hips. And then you can shoot the legs back for chaturanga. Otherwise, same thing, just meet up in downward facing dog, taking any movements along the way that feel nice for you. So nice, and then breathe and roll forward to plank. Breathe out, lower all the way to your belly. Untuck the toes, interlace the hands behind you. Opposite way that you did earlier in class, and then breathe in to lift the head, the chest, and the feet. Lift the hands up off the butt for Shalabhasana locust pose for 1, 2, 3. Slowly lower the forehead back to the mat. Take the hands by the low ribs, press into the hands, bend at the knees, and just come to hands and knees. We'll come to stand on the knees now. Take your block or your book on the lowest setting, so fairly flat, and then just place it between the heels. Moving into camel pose, we'll tuck both toes back behind us. Hands come to the low back, fingertips press down. Breathe in to pull the low belly in and lift the chest up. Take the gaze up as well. You might stay here and work, or you might reach for one heel, then the other. Keep pressing the chest up towards the ceiling. Keep opening in the shoulders. Let the head fall back. If you want an even deeper variation, you can untuck the toes. Keep pressing the hips forward for 1, 2, 3. Wherever you are, use the belly to come up evenly. Hands come to touch in front of the heart. Exhale, take the seat to your block. Hands come to rest on the tops of the thighs. Close the eyes. Right away, tune into your meditative seat. Come to your breath. You might notice the gentle expansion of the belly with each inhale, the subtle fall of the belly with each exhale. If you have a mantra in your practice, you can certainly take that now. Otherwise, you can count the breaths. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. And inevitably, if the mind gets distracted, if a thought comes into the mind, think of it as a cloud passing through a blue sky. So you can acknowledge it and then let it pass through the other side, fading away into the background, allowing you to bring your attention back to your breath. We're going to stay here for about a minute. So try to think about letting everything else fade except for the attention to the breath. If you've become distracted, as gently as you possibly can, the same way that you would bring a puppy back to its bowl of water or food, just gently guide your attention back to the breath. From here, begin to deepen the breath, bring your attention back into the body, begin to let the eyes flutter open. Come to stand on the knees, remove the block to the side, and then move the feet to one side and just sit the hips down onto your mat and extend the legs forward. We're just going to take a simple forward fold, flex the feet, breathe in to lift the arms up. Breathe out, reach forward for the toes, maybe the outer edges of the feet, and just let the head fall heavy for Paschimottanasana. Let this be gentle and sweet. No need to make it more complicated or, jarring or, like you're pulling really hard for any reason. Staying with the breath. And then on your next inhale, slowly begin to rise all the way back up. We'll point the toes. The hands will come back behind us, fingertips face forward. Breathe in to press into the hands to lift the hips up. Once the hips are lifted, the head can fall back. You're trying to reach the toes to the mat. Incline plank for 1, 2, 3. Slowly lower the hips back down to the mat. Sit up tall, flex the feet once again. Take the hands back up by the hips. Just press the hands down into the floor or the mat beneath you. Keep broadening across the chest. This is called Dandasana or staff pose. Staying here for a couple rounds of breaths in and out. Surprisingly interesting how difficult it might feel to just sit up tall in a simple posture like this. Another one in and out. And then scoot the hips forward. Take the arms out in front of you, and then we're just going to slowly lower all the way down into our back. Moving slowly here, letting the abdomen engage on the way down. So nice. And then we're going to take one more back bend. I'm going to talk us through a bridge and a wheel, your choice on which you'd like to take. Everyone will bring the soles of the feet to the mat, whichever variation you want to take today. If you want to take bridge, you'll press into the feet to lift the hips up. Interlace the hands underneath you and then roll each shoulder underneath the back. You'll press the forearms and the hands down to lift the hips up, and then you'll press into the feet to take the chest towards the chin. If you're taking wheel pose, the hands will come by the head, fingertips face the shoulders. And then you'll breathe in to press into the hands and the feet. You'll come to the crown of the head first, readjust the hands, make sure the elbows are pointing straight behind you, and then press all the way up. Let the head fall heavy for 1, 2, keep pressing to the hands, keep pressing the chest forward. 3, tuck the chin, slowly lower all the way down. If you're in bridge pose, Release the fingertips and slowly lower the hips back down. Everyone take your feet as wide as the mat. Please keep the feet on the mat and then let the knees knock in towards one another. One hand can come to the belly, one hand can come to the heart. And then take a moment here to come back to the breath, maybe come back to your dedication for class today. Once again, bringing to mind the qualities that you want to cultivate for today. From here, we'll flutter the eyes open, heel toe the feet in so that they're hips width distance. You'll take your block on the flattest setting, lift the hips up just enough to slide the block underneath your sacrum or your low back. The hands will be long by the sides and the feet will come up towards the ceiling or the sky. Just letting the legs drain one last time here. Letting the body cool down. Put a little bend in the knees and slowly let the soles of the feet come back to the ground. Press into the feet to lift the hips and remove this block. Set it to the side and then take the knees in towards the armpits. Reach the hands inside the knees and grab the outer edges of the feet for happy baby pose. You can take a little movement here if it feels nice for you. And then take the knees in towards the chest. Let the knees fall over to the left. Your gaze will come to the right. Tee the arms. Keep the eyes closed here. One last rinse out. Bring the knees back in towards the center. Let the knees fall over towards the right. Gaze comes to the left. From here, bring the knees back to center. Hug the knees into the chest. Bring the forehead to the knees. Give yourself a hug here. And then release everything for our final posture, Savasana. Move any blocks or objects away from you so that you're not touching anything unnecessarily. Legs can come apart about mat width distance. Feet splay open. Arms away from the body. Palms face up. A little tuck in the chin. And then allow the body to get heavy, letting the weight of the body sink into the mat or the floor beneath you. Allowing any last tension or holding to fully let go, knowing that you've put in so much hard work and that it's time to rest. Letting yourself fully surrender here. Without moving, slowly begin to deepen and widen your breath. Bring movement to your fingers and your toes. Take the arms up and overhead for a big stretch, and take the head to the left and then the right. Bend both knees, bring the soles of the feet to the mat, and let the knees fall over to the right side, allowing the torso to be pulled with it, finding a fetal position with the head resting on the arms as a pillow. And when you're ready, gently press into the hands to lift the torso all the way up to a seat. Find a comfortable seat, maybe placing a block or a blanket underneath the hips. Letting the hands rest on the thighs, palms face up. Feeling the hips rooting down into the block or the mat or the floor. The low belly pulls slightly in, the chest lifts, the shoulders are broad. The back of the neck is long, the crown of the head reaches up. And take one more moment here to observe the sensations in the body, the mind, and the breath, knowing that your hard work this morning contributed to an open body, even, steady breath, and a clear and still mind. Then take the hands to touch in front of the heart. Then take the thumbs to the third eye or the space between the eyebrows. Take one more moment to bring to mind the quality that you want to cultivate, your dedication for class today as a way to close your own practice. And then together, let's have gratitude for ourselves and for the teachings of yoga. Namaste, yogis. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope you enjoyed this class. Please comment below and let me know what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, and something that you're interested in doing more of or learning, or if it's just something that you're working on in your life, like I would love to do yoga to reduce stress or something like that. So thank you so much for contributing. Thank you so much for joining. And one last thing, of course, all of these classes are free here on YouTube. But if you want to support me, there's a link below where you can donate. I'm using Patreon. So feel free to donate if you'd like. Otherwise, can't wait to see you next time. Thank you so much.